I've covered my sister's rent, wiped out her debts, and even lent her my car more times than I can count. And after she wrecked it, she had the nerve to call the cops on me. The real kicker. My parents took her side. So, I decided to return the favor with a little surprise of my own. One they won't forget anytime soon. My name's Ethan Walker. I'm 32. And for most of my adult life, I've been the one constantly sweeping up after my younger sister, Olivia, fixing her messes, paying her way, and stepping in every time she found herself in another disaster. And trust me, she always did. Olivia's 26, but you'd think she was still a teenager the way she carries herself. No steady job. No savings. No accountability for anything she does. And somehow, all of that became my burden to bear. Our parents, Richard and Susan, decided a long time ago that Olivia just wasn't built for the real world. Mom always called her a free spirit, like that made her bad decisions okay. Dad? He pretty much washed his hands of her completely. So when she dropped out of college and moved back in, guess who they turned to? Ethan, you're older. You've always been the responsible one. Olivia just needs a little support. She'll grow up, just give it time. That little support turned into a never-ending money pit. I stepped in to cover her rent when she came up short. I paid off her credit card when she maxed it out on clothes and getaways. I picked up her car insurance bills because she forgot. And every single time, I'd convince myself, she's my sister, she'll figure it out eventually. But she never did. And this time, she crossed a line I couldn't ignore. It all started with a text. Short. Casual. Like she hadn't just done something insane. Hey, took your car for the weekend trip. You weren't using it anyway, right? I stared at the screen, struggling to process what I was reading. My car. The one I worked overtime to afford. The one I still made monthly payments on. I called her immediately, heart racing. What do you mean you took my car? I asked, trying to keep my voice steady. She let out a sigh, like I was being dramatic. Chill, Ethan. It's just for the weekend. We're heading to the cabin, remember? I never said you could take my car, I snapped. You weren't even home. What's the big deal? I clenched my jaw. The big deal? It's my car, Liv, not yours. Before I could say another word, she hung up. I should have called my parents right then and there. But I already knew what they'd say. Ethan, it's just a car. She's your sister. Don't be so uptight. It's not like she stole it, she's just borrowing it. So, I let it go. Big mistake. The next call came at 2 a.m., yanking me out of a deep sleep. Olivia. Sobbing. Ethan, I was in an accident. I shot upright so fast I got dizzy. Are you okay? I think so, but the car. She sucked in a shaky breath. It's totaled. I barely caught anything else she said. The words all blurred together. All I could think about was my car. My name on that insurance. My responsibility. She kept rambling through tears. Ethan, you need to come. The cops are being so unfair. Just tell them it's all okay, okay? She wanted me to lie for her. Again. I closed my eyes and took a slow, deep breath, tightening my grip on the phone. No, I said quietly. I'm not doing that. Silence. Then came the anger. Are you serious? Ethan, I'm your sister. I know, I replied, voice firm. And that's exactly the problem. She paused, probably in shock that I actually stood my ground for once. Then the shrieking began. Are you kidding me, Ethan? You're just gonna leave me here to deal with this alone? After everything I've done for you? Everything. I knew exactly what she meant. All those years of me bailing her out, paying her debts, cleaning up after every dumb choice she made, and now I was the villain. I held the phone tighter, my voice low and steady. You stole my car, Liv. You wrecked it. And now you want me to take the fall? Can you even hear how insane that sounds? She let out this bitter, fake laugh. Oh, come on. It's just money. You can afford it. I'm the one who's hurt here. And there it was, the classic Olivia twist. Turn herself into the victim. Spin the whole thing like I was heartless and she was the one being wronged. I could already hear how she'd spin it to our parents. Ethan doesn't care. I was in a wreck and he just left me stranded. And knowing them, they'd believe every word. But I didn't care anymore. Call Mom and Dad, I told her flatly. Maybe it's time they finally dealt with you. I'm done. And I hung up. Cue the family fallout. The next morning, I woke up to exactly what I expected. My phone buzzing non-stop. Mom, Ethan, what is wrong with you? Your sister could have died. Dad, we raised you better. You need to help your family. Mom again, the hospital bill is huge. She's your sister, Ethan. I stared at the messages, and for once, I didn't feel guilt. I didn't even feel anger. Just worn out. So, I ignored them. Didn't respond. Didn't call back. Just let it all pile up. Then my dad showed up at my door. I opened it to find him standing there, arms crossed, face stormy. Get dressed, he snapped. We're going to the hospital. I almost laughed in his face. No, we're not. He narrowed his eyes. You're acting like a selfish brat. Your sister needs you. I folded my arms. No. What she needs is my wallet, and I'm done playing that role. He didn't even blink. She's family, Ethan. You don't turn your back on family. I took a breath, slow and deliberate. Funny how that only ever applies when it's me giving and Olivia taking. His jaw twitched. You're making this harder than it has to be. No, Dad. You made it harder when you decided she was my problem instead of yours. She's your daughter. Why don't you pay the hospital bill? We don't have that kind of money, he shot back. And there it was. The truth, plain and simple. But I do, right? I said, tilting my head. That's what this is really about. It always is, with you, with Mom, with Olivia. It's always about my money. His face went red. This is your last chance. Help her, or you're out of this family. That got a real laugh out of me. Out of the family? I repeated, shaking my head. Dad, I was never in this family. I was just the emergency fund you kept on speed dial. I stepped back and grabbed the door. Good luck with Olivia, I said, locking eyes with him. Because I'm out. And with that, I slammed the door. 2 full days went by. Not a call. Not a message. Nothing. I should have felt free. Like a weight had finally been lifted. No more emergency transfers to Olivia. No more guilt-tripping voicemails. No more, Ethan, be a good brother. But something didn't sit right. Olivia wasn't the kind to disappear quietly. And then, on day 3, everything fell apart. I was jolted awake at 7 a.m. by a thunderous pounding on my door, not knocking. Banging. I swung the door open, still half asleep, and there they were, 2 cops standing right on my porch. Ethan Walker, one of them asked. My stomach knotted up immediately. Yeah, I replied. The taller one flipped open a notepad like he was reading off a script. We're here about a report of a stolen vehicle. That stopped me cold. Stolen? What the hell? He stayed stone-faced. Your sister, Olivia Walker, is accusing you of taking her car, crashing it, and leaving her behind. For a second, I actually laughed out loud. Wait, my car. The one I bought. The one she took without even asking. He didn't flinch. Do you have any documents showing ownership? I stared at him, almost insulted. Of course I did. The damn thing was registered in my name. But that wasn't the part that hit me hardest. It was the nerve of it all. Olivia had flipped the whole story on its head, and, like clockwork, my parents backed her up. She also said you threatened her, the officer added, scanning his notes. Claimed that after the crash, you refused to help and told her she'd regret it. My fists clenched tight. That was a flat-out lie. The cop exchanged a quick look with his partner. Then I'm sure you won't mind coming down to the station to clear things up. I could barely breathe. This wasn't just another one of Olivia's guilt trips. She was trying to ruin me. The interrogation. They led me into this small, cold room at the station. The buzzing fluorescent lights made everything feel colder, and the metal chair was pure misery. My heart was pounding so hard I thought it might echo. Another officer came in with a folder in hand. Ethan, he said, calm and professional, let's walk through what happened that night. So I laid it all out for him. How Olivia took my car without permission. How she crashed it. How she called me at 2 a.m, demanding I cover for her. How my parents instantly took her side. He nodded slowly while scribbling notes. Do you have any proof of that? I flexed my fingers to stop them from twitching. Yeah, I do. I grabbed my phone, scrolled through old messages, and found the one where Olivia outright admitted she took my car. I slid it across the table. Here. Read it. He picked it up and started reading. His eyebrows climbed as he scrolled. That was the moment I saw it, the moment he realized she was full of crap. Well, he muttered. That's something. Then he left the room. When he came back, he had a printout in hand. Olivia's official statement. I almost burst out laughing. It was a total circus. She claimed I'd stolen the car while she was sleeping, said I'd been drinking, crashed it, and just left her to deal with the cops. And the cherry on top. At the bottom of the page, 2 witnesses listed. Richard and Susan Walker. My own parents. They'd signed off on her story. My blood boiled. I leaned back slowly, trying to calm myself, but my voice came out steady and cold. Officer, I'd like to file a report. He raised an eyebrow. Against your sister? Yes, I said, exhaling deeply. Olivia Walker took my vehicle without permission. I want to press charges. There was a pause. You're absolutely sure? More than ever. I want to file for grand theft auto. And just like that, the script flipped. The fallout. By the time I got home, things had already gone nuclear. My phone had practically exploded with missed calls. Mom, Ethan, what did you do? Dad, drop this, now. You're ruining Olivia's life. Mom again, she's your sister. Family forgives. Then came the kicker, one final message from Olivia. Olivia, you're dead to me. I stared at the screen, heart thudding in my chest. And then. I smiled. For the first time ever, I actually felt free. I knew things would get messy. But I didn't think it would unravel this fast. The cops didn't waste time reviewing the case, and the second they took my side, Olivia's world started crumbling. This wasn't just a slap on the wrist. She was staring down real charges. Grand theft auto is no joke, and neither is filing a false police report. But the real blow. The one that wrecked her. She lost the only thing she ever actually gave a damn about, her job. Olivia's downfall. The next morning, I got a call. But it wasn't Olivia. Wasn't my parents, either. It was her employer. Mr. Walker. This is Rachel Bennett from Hamilton and Company. I blinked. Olivia worked there, but why were they calling me? Yes. I answered, wary. Rachel cleared her throat. We're investigating a matter involving Olivia Walker. Your name came up in a police report, and we're hoping you can confirm some details. My heart gave a little kick. I kept my voice steady. What kind of details? She listed you as a character witness for an internal review, Rachel said. We need to know if she's involved in any legal issues that might impact our case. I almost laughed. Legal issues like stealing my car and trying to have me arrested? Silence. Then Rachel replied, I see. That's all we needed. Thank you, Mr. Walker. Click. It didn't even take 3 hours before Olivia started blowing up my phone. The breakdown. First call came in at 10:37 a.m. Ignored. Second, 10:42. Still ignored. Third, 10:45. This time she left a voicemail. I hesitated, then hit play. Ethan, I swear to God, you ruined my life. What's wrong with you? They fired me. Do you hear me? Fired. I hope you're happy, you absolute disaster. I deleted it before she could finish. Then came call number 4, 11:02 a.m. This time, I picked up. Olivia. Her voice was shaky, but not from guilt. No, she was just pissed. You need to fix this. I actually laughed. Fix what? You mean the mess you made? I didn't make a mess, she snapped. I lost my job, Ethan. My apartment isn't paid off. How am I supposed to survive? I took a breath. Not my problem. She went quiet. Then the tone shifted. Ethan. I didn't mean for it to get this bad. I panicked, okay. I was scared. And Mom and Dad. Don't, I cut her off coldly. Don't drag them into this. You made your choice. You figured I'd swoop in and clean it up, like always. Well, not this time. I'm done being your damn backup plan. Silence. Then came the fake sweet voice. The same syrupy act she always used to manipulate people. Ethan, please. I need your help. I have nowhere else to go. And there it was. The truth. She wanted money. Olivia didn't care about the damage she caused. She wasn't sorry. She was just terrified. Because for once in her life, I wasn't going to save her. I let the silence linger. Then, calmly, I said, welcome to reality, Liv. And I hung up. Their last attempt. I knew my parents weren't just going to drop this. Sure enough, that evening, I heard a car pull up outside my house. I let out a deep sigh. Here we go again. I walked over and opened the door before they even had a chance to knock. There they were, both standing with their arms folded, faces stiff like they were carved from stone. I didn't bother inviting them in. What do you want? I asked flatly. Mom didn't waste time. Her voice cut straight through the air. You need to fix this, Ethan. I crossed my arms right back at her. Fix what, exactly? Dad's face twisted into a scowl. Olivia. She's lost everything because of you. I couldn't help but laugh. Because of me? Or because she chose to lie to the cops? Mom's eyes narrowed into slits. She was desperate, Ethan. She didn't know what else to do. She could have tried taking responsibility. For once in her life, I shot back. That's when Mom snapped, and you're so perfect, huh? You've never screwed up. Not in ways that put innocent people behind bars, I replied without blinking. Her lips tightened. She's your sister, Ethan, she said, her voice suddenly softer. If you don't help her, she'll end up on the street. And there it was. The real reason for this visit. They wanted me to let Olivia crash at my place. I met both of their eyes and said one word. No. Mom gasped like I'd smacked her. Ethan. You didn't hear me when I told you I was done, I interrupted. You took her side. You called me selfish. You believed her lies. And now you think I should just open my door and welcome her in? Dad's tone dropped to something low and guilt-laced. We're family, Ethan. Family forgives. I let out a long breath, steady and slow. Then I said the words that shut the door for good. Not this time. And I meant it, literally. I closed the door right in their faces. I heard Mom gasp again. Dad muttered something I didn't catch. But I didn't care anymore. I locked the door behind me and walked away. Hitting rock bottom. 3 days later, I got the final message from Olivia. I'm leaving town. You really ruined everything, you know that? You got what you wanted. Hope you can live with yourself. I sat there just staring at it. Did I feel bad? No. Not even a little. Because for once in my life, I finally chose me. The final goodbye. Olivia was gone. The group chat we all shared went completely quiet. No more calls from my parents. No more emotional manipulation. No more guilt-laced texts asking for money. Just silence. For the first time in what felt like forever, I was truly on my own. And still, somehow, I felt hollow. I should have felt free. I had won, hadn't I? Olivia was out of my life. The toxic cycle was finally broken. So why did it feel like I was standing in the ashes of something bigger than just a fight? Maybe because deep down, some part of me always believed she'd change. Maybe because, no matter what, I still wanted to be her big brother. I was still turning that over in my head when I heard it, a knock. Soft, unsure. I frowned and checked my phone. Nothing. No missed calls. No texts. I opened the door. And froze. Olivia stood there. But not the version of her I was used to. Her hair was a mess, clothes rumpled like she'd slept in them for days. All that usual attitude. Gone. She looked like someone who'd lost it all. For the first time in years, she looked genuinely afraid. Olivia, I said, my voice colder than I intended. She swallowed hard. Ethan. I don't have anywhere else to go. The last talk. For a second, I just stared at her. Everything I'd buried came rushing back, every overtime shift I worked to pay her bills, every insult she threw while holding out her hand, every time Mom and Dad guilt me with, be a good brother. And now here she was. Begging. Ethan, please, she whispered. My jaw clenched. You tried to have me arrested, Liv. She flinched like I'd slapped her. I know. I breathed out slowly. You really think I can just forget that? She looked at the ground. I don't expect anything. I've got nothing left. I studied her carefully. She wasn't lying. Job. Gone. Apartment. Evicted. Friends. Nowhere to be found. Olivia had truly hit the bottom. Then she said something I didn't expect. Her voice cracked. I don't need money. I'm not here for a place to crash. I just want my brother back. And just like that, it wasn't a trick. Not another act. Just the truth. For the first time since all this mess began, she looked like the kid I used to know. And that scared the hell out of me. Because deep down, I knew, I was standing at a crossroads. The decision. My whole life, I've been the one to catch her fall. The one who cleaned up every disaster. And I realized, if I opened that door again, even just a little, nothing would ever really change. She needed to hit bottom. Olivia had to fall. She needed to hit her lowest point. Because as long as someone was always there to cushion the blow, she'd never truly learn anything. She must have read the shift in my expression because her eyes widened with fear. "Ethan, don't do this," she said, almost panicking. "I promise, I'll change. I'll prove it. Just, give me a chance." I let out a sharp breath. "Liv, I've already given you 100 of those." Her face twisted in frustration. "You're my brother. You're supposed to help me." And there it was again. That same entitled tone. That built-in assumption that I'd always be there to bail her out. My hands curled into fists. "And what about you, huh? What have you ever done for me?" She blinked like the question caught her off guard. "What?" "I mean it," I said, stepping in closer. "Tell me one thing you've done for me." I didn't give her time to think. "You took my car and wrecked it. Then called the cops and tried to pin it on me. You looked our parents in the eyes and lied straight through your teeth. And now, when you've burned every other bridge, you come here expecting forgiveness?" Her lips started to tremble. "Ethan. I thought we were family." I looked at her long and hard. Then said quietly, "Family doesn't do what you did to me." She inhaled sharply, like my words cut deep. I shook my head slowly. "I hope you figure your life out, Liv. Really. But I can't be part of it anymore." Her breath caught in her throat. "Ethan, please. Goodbye, Liv." And just like that, I closed the door, for the last time. Epilogue, starting over. 2 months later, I packed up and left. New city. New job. A completely different life. No texts from my parents. No surprise calls from Olivia. And you know what? I didn't miss any of it. Because for once, I was actually living for myself. Sure, some nights she crossed my mind. I'd wonder if she was okay. But then I'd remember all those years I spent bending over backward for someone who never saw my worth. And I'd remind myself, this was the only way she'd ever change. I wasn't angry anymore. I wasn't bitter either. I was just, free. And I never looked back. Final update, how it all ended. Hey everyone. It's been a minute. A bunch of you asked for an update after I cut ties with my sister and family. So here it is. The short version. Olivia's gone. My parents stopped talking to me. And I've honestly never felt more at peace. But man, the reaction to my original story. It was wild. Some of you were cheering me on, saying I finally stood up for myself. Others called me heartless. So let's talk about it. To those of you who supported me, thank you. Seriously. Reading your messages, hearing your stories about walking away from toxic families, it made me feel like I wasn't alone. Setting boundaries isn't easy. Especially when you grow up being told that family means everything, even if it's at your own expense. But eventually, you have to stop and ask, everything for who? And what's the price I'm paying? Olivia had years to change. She had every chance to own up to her actions. Instead, she lied, manipulated, and nearly wrecked my life. Choosing myself wasn't cruel. It was survival. And the peace I've found since. I didn't even think it was possible. To those who said I went too far, I get where you're coming from. Cutting off your own family isn't something you do lightly. I didn't just wake up one morning and decide to burn bridges. A lot of you think I should have given her another shot, helped her back up, maybe made peace with my parents. But here's my question, why is it always on me? Why am I the one expected to fix everything, especially when I'm not the one who broke it? Why am I supposed to forgive someone who tried to have me arrested? Who stole from me, lied to my face, and dragged my name through the mud? At some point, you just run out of chances to give. And I hit that point. Where things stand now. Olivia's completely out of the picture. Last I heard, she was couch hopping, staying with random friends, then went totally silent online. As for my parents? Still mad. Still no contact. And honestly, that silence has been a gift. I've got a new job. A fresh start. No more guilt hanging over my head. So, what do you think? Did I do the right thing? Or should I have handled it differently? Drop your thoughts, I'm listening.